Yes, a good evening and welcome to Spoets Box on Royal Television with me, Sonita Ngoni. And yes, it's that time where we have to talk sport for straight 1 hour on the program on this particular TV channel. And equally to remind you that the first phase of the MTN Elite One Championship will be coming to an end as of April 5. And mind you that Democratic Republic of Congo, after 52 years, have dropped their ticket to the 2026 FIFA World Cup that is going to be hosted by America, Canada, and the likes of Mexico. Mind you, we are 80 days, less than 80 days to this particular competition. And equally, we'll take up this break. When we come back, we'll talk our sports updates. Good evening once more. If you are just joining us, you're on to Spoets Box on Royal Television. And yes, this is the face that you always see on Friday in respect to this particular program. And equally for those who are just joining us, I give a reminder that the first phase of the MTN Elite One Championship will be coming to an end on Sunday, the 5th of April. And equally to tell you that the MTN Elite 2 first phase had already elapsed and they are resuming today in terms of the MTN 82 Championship with continuation tomorrow for match day 8 of this particular championship. And equally to reiterate the fact that Democratic Republic of Congo have defeated Jamaica 1-0 to be able to pick up the 10th African ticket that was going to be, why not, representing this particular continent in the 2026 FIFA World Cup in terms of the male category. And equally, let's start our sports update on today's edition of the program. Mind you, it is a second edition in the month of April, and we are going straight away to look at Naslavet, that was that started yesterday in terms of the Maliko Mill Sports Stadium and the Boyatown Stadium, where we have teams right from Bafoussam, Douala that are equally participating in this particular championship. And why not? Remember, last year it was Nasla that carried the crown of this particular competition. And let's take a look at this report that was compiled to us by Kosona Claudia Voma as she visited the stadiums ahead of this particular competition.
Our aim in the short term is to be known among the initiated, quote unquote, those who practice football of a certain generation for entertainment value.
On the eve of kickoff, organizers held a press conference where the Director General of the National School of Local Administration and Chief Organizer Tanyi Siku Eno Achuobaye outlined the vision of the tournament, emphasizing its role in promoting unity, fair play and competitive grassroots football. The tournament was officially declared open and ceremonially kicked off by the Governor of the Southwest Region, Bernard Okalia Bilai, adding prestige and institutional support to the competition. On the pitch, Nasla set the tone early with 2-1 victory over Premature FC in the opening match, delivering a thrilling start to the tournament. Despite that setback, Premature showed resilience to bounce back and secure a place in the semi-finals, joining Nasla, Dream Team of Bafoussam and Surveyors and Friends. The competition has also been enriched by the presence of former Cameroon national team football stars, including Jean de Makoun, Timothée Ateba, Pierre Womlen, Samuelen and Frankom, whose presence continues to inspire young players and elevate the status of the event. Speaking after qualification, the coach of Machu FC praised the tournament organization and the level of the competition.
Non, vraiment, ce tournoi était un très bon tournoi. Nous sommes habitués de ce tournoi. Première édition, on a joué sans défaite jusqu'à la finale et on a gagné la coupe. Deuxième, on est arrivé, on a participé, on nous a éliminés. Mais cette fois-ci, quand on est arrivé, je vous ai dit hier que la marmite est couverte. La marmite peut être ouverte aujourd'hui. Et comme le premier match est passé, mais on avait confiance en nous. Et j'ai dit aux gars que les matchs se suivent, mais ça ne se ressemble pas. Là, pourquoi le deuxième match est venu. Malgré l'égalisation de 1, les gars même avaient peur. Je leur ai dit que non. Le match est à la fin. Jouer. Et le meilleur équipe, c'est celui qui a le banc de touche. Qui a un meilleur banc de touche. Et ils savent gérer. Comme moi j'ai géré, je suis content de cette victoire.
While the president of Dream Team Bafusam highlighted his team's determination after progressing throughout the playoffs to reach the main tournament.
Bon, nos objectifs de cette année, c'est venir remporter le trophée. C'est la troisième édition du Naslavet cette année. Et je pourrais vous dire que j'ai l'expérience parce que c'est ma troisième fois de passer à ce tournoi. Je suis venu la première fois avec l'équipe de Sauver en fin de président. La deuxième fois, la même équipe comme président où nous sommes sortis, nous avons pris la deuxième place. Nous avons joué la finale, mais malheureusement, nous avons perdu la finale contre Nasla. Et cette année-ci, j'ai décidé de revenir avec l'équipe de Bafoussam parce que je voulais représenter une équipe, faire venir une équipe de l'Ouest dans ce tournoi pour pouvoir élever le niveau du tournoi. Et nous ne sommes pas venus pour gagner, nous sommes venus pour remporter le tournoi.
With the semi-final lineup now confirmed, anticipation continues to build as teams prepare for decisive encounters in the race for the Naslavet title.
You welcome back on today's edition, and that was what transpired in terms of the first day of play of Naslavet. And away from that, let's look at the African countries already. That the all 10 African countries that have qualified for the World Cup that is coming up less than 80 days. Remember, before the Democratic Republic of Congo played a game against Jamaica where they won 1-0 with that late goal, it was Super Eagles of Nigeria that fighting a complaint to why not tell CAF that there was a player who played and they are considering the fact that issue of nationality, he was not supposed to play. But unfortunately for them, it was ruled out of the case. And with that ruling, Democratic Republic of Congo equally took on Jamaica, where they have to lift off the African continent, giving them their 10 ticket. And equally, we have the likes of Egypt, Mali, Ghana, Morocco, Senegal, Tunisia, South Africa, and a host of others in terms of the African continent that are going to be participating in this particular edition. Mind you, the battle line has already been drawn, especially with the fact that Jamaica has to join the likes of Group K of this particular World Cup competition, but they are going to be clashing against Cristiano Ronaldo, that is Portugal. Will Democratic Republic of Congo be able to match up the strength of Portugal, talking about Uzbekistan and the others? We are going to be seeing that when the World Cup itself it's going to start. And away from the African countries that have already taken or picked up all the tickets for this particular competition, let's take a look at the entire teams or entire countries participating in the World Cup in terms of America, Canada, and Mexico. Mind you, these are all the countries that are going to be participating in this edition. All of them are going to be battling for just one particular prestigious trophy, which stands in the middle. And equally, you'll be asking yourself, who am I rooting for? I'm definitely rooting for all the 10 African countries that are going to be participating in the competition. And away from the World Cup, let us travel back to Cameroon and talk about the MTN Elite Championship that resumed today, Friday. And equally, let's take a look at the games that are going to be played tomorrow. A reminder that our flag bearer in this particular competition, Kumba City Football Club. The side from Meme, it's definitely going to have a return leg against her sister side, Buffman United. And mind you, Buffman United said it that during the first leg, it is going to be, during the first leg where they picked up a 1-0 defeat. They told Kumba City that while Kumba will be traveling to Bamenda, they should prepare themselves because it's going to be a game of revenge. Mind you, two sister side. And equally, we have in a Kumba City equally that are already on their way to Bamenda, where they are going to be playing at the Bamenda Proximity Stadium. Let's take a look at the fixtures so far for the MTN Elite 2 Championship as of March Day 8 of this particular competition, where we have the likes of Buffman United against Kumba City, and that game is going to be played at exactly 3:30. Meanwhile, we have the likes of Bambutus of Buddha that is going to clash against Avion Academy. And in terms of Pool B still, we have the likes of Unisport of Bombang against Tonel Football Club of Douala. And that is it in terms of the fixtures of March of the MTN Elite 2 Championship, March Day 8. Away from the MTN Elite 2 Championship, let's talk about the Elite 1. That is rounding up this particular weekend, where we have the likes of, in terms of the fixtures for this particular weekend, we have Victoria United that is going to clash against Canon Sportive of Yaoundé at the Ngemomi Sports Stadium. We have the likes of Cotton Sport of Garoua against Gazelle. Favourable will welcome Colombe Sportive of Nja and Lobo, while PWD of Bamenda takes on Aigle Royal of the Mongo. Panther will clash against Aigle Royal of the Menwa. Meanwhile, Stade Renal will welcome RS Fortuna and Dynamo Football Club against Unisport in terms of this particular match day 13 of the MTN Elite 1 Championship. Before match day 13, let's take you to how the tables are actually looking at in terms of the MTN Elite 1 Championship after 12 days of play. And let's go to the standings to look at the teams that have been maintaining themselves on the classification table. We either grabbing points or losing, and why not continuing being in the corridors of draws, just like Stade Renat of the Melon since the start of the competition. And yes, we have the likes of Unisport. Mind you, this is going to be the 5th match day that Unisport will be maintained as the leader of the MTN Elite 1 Championship. And equally, we have a Unisport with a total of 26 points onto her pocket, closely followed by Cotton Sport of Garwa with 22 points. And the third position is Gazelle Football Academy, while PWG of Bamenda sits 4th position, Dynamo, Feed, and Victoria United sit. And let's take you to the bottom teams in terms of the classification table, where we have Stade Renat and the likes of Aigle Royal of the Mongo. And that is it in terms of the MTN Elite 1 Championship standings so far. Away from that, let's go to the Northwest Regional League to look at their standings so far in the 4 pools. Mind you, it's been one drama to another, with one name remaining in the mouth of many fans of the Northwest region, which is Mangkong United. I mean, it's a team that is bringing an eye-opener in terms of this particular season, and we are hoping that maybe there's going to be someone to change the narratives when the first phase of the Northwest Regional League comes to an end. But as it stands now, let's go to Group 1, which is Group A of the Northwest Regional League so far. Let's take a look at the standings, the teams that have maintained their lead in terms of this particular pool, and the teams that are still, why not, right behind, searching for possible points in between the competition. And yes, in terms of Pool A, we have the likes of we have the likes of in terms of the MTN Elites, rather the Northwest Regional League, we have Buffman United standing with 7 points, and rather Bafut United 7 points, Rainbow FC 6 points, Option Sport 4 points, and we have the likes of Bakwa Sports Academy 3 points, Rockland FC 2 points, and Graffiti Sports Academy 2 points, Okada Union 2 points, and Elibet follow with 1 point. Group B has the likes of My Soccer Center, who is leading this particular table with a total of 7 points, closely followed by Dream Team FC with 6 points, All Stars 4 points, Ndonga United 3 points, Family Warriors 2 points, Momo United 1, and Ellie Sport 1 point. Pool C has the likes of Itambong with 5 points. After the likes of 3 playing days, Achiku FC follows with 4 points, Kumbu Strikers 3 points, Young Sport 3 points, this Young Sport 3 points, and Grace of Hope at the last position with just 2 points. And the last group of the Northwest Regional League has the like of Mancong United. It has been 3 games for Mancong United and 3 wins, giving them a total of 9 points into their pocket. And they are closely followed by Inquan Football Club with 6 points. Kulu Mountain FC 6 points. St. Michael Sports Academy 3 points. Simaf 3 points. Hilltop Strikers 3 games played, 0 point, which is 0 defeat. And rather 3 defeats. And we have the likes of Grassfield United 3 games played, no point recorded in terms of match day 3 of the Northwest Regional League. And yes, that is it in terms of what is happening in the corridors of the Northwest Regional League over there in the Bamenda. And yes, we are going to take on this break, but before we take on this break, a reminder that we are going to be looking at how match day 4 of the Southwest Regional League is going to look like, and equally our 2 flag bearers, which are Kumba City Football Club, who is representing us in the MTN Elite 2 Championship, and the likes of Victoria United in the MTN Elite 1 Championship. Mind you, it's going to be Nathan Douala playing against his former team. We'll take on this break, and when we come back, we'll discuss what the prospect of these particular fixtures. You're still on Spoets Box on Royal Television. With me, Sonita Gunya, and equally, we are going to the way to look at our guests to examine what is going to transpire in terms of this weekend across the national territory in respect to the MTN Elite 1 2. Why not the various national leagues that are already on playing, and equally to tell you that the literal regional league equally has started. And I tell you that the teams came in style. You had some tie-in Jasawa, others came dressed in the Chinese way, but I tell you, it was beautiful to watch how teams in Cameroon equally are branding themselves in the domain of football. And equally, I'm taking you straight away to meet my guest for today, and it is no other person than Ngome Michael. Ngome Michael, good evening and welcome on set today.
Good evening, Sonita. Good evening to all our televiewers. It's another opportunity to examine what is unfolding in Cameroon's football, and of course, like you mentioned, we've seen the Elite 2 coming back, quite a quick finish to the first round, and of course, we are going to see how rather Kumba City are going to react to the last two defeats that they suffered, which denied them an almost 100% in the first round finish in the Elite 2 championship. And it's the critical phase of the season where you either have to go for the playoffs up into the Elite 1, or you have the maintenance. And exactly, so it's a really tricky sport, and we're hoping to see how they go in for that. And of course, tomorrow games in the Southwest Regional League, the Elite 1 will be coming to an end for the first round. Quite interesting. Unisport of the Yonkam are doing a formidable job so far. They have been the best team so far in the first round, and if we are going mathematically, this team is expected to stay another season in the Elite 1 because they've already met up the cutoff point for safety. Now we are going to see how safety has been assured for the Flambeau du l'Ouest. We are going to see how they go in to maybe challenge for the crown, and we see other teams coming up. Eagle of Mungo, they fired a number of coaches, but still wallowing. We had
Panther equally.
Exactly, Panther recently had to do in with their hiring a new manager in the person of Bertene Bwele, who will be taking over from another prominent name who resigned in the Yves Clement Aroga. And of course, other clubs, we've seen Emmanuel Dumbebu so coming in, chipping up the first win for Stade Rennais over 8 matches or so. And we're hoping to see how all of these plays after they go into the second round, and notably a key fixture in that will be this weekend at the Ngeme Sports Stadium.
Definitely, but before we have to talk about the Southwest Regional League, a quick one. We had the likes of Democratic Republic of Congo equally that picked up the 10th African ticket ahead of the FIFA World Cup. I mean, did you see the side coming this close in grabbing that 10th ticket? Mind you, first time that the African continent is going to be playing in the number of 10 in this particular competition.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've been one of those people who, ever since from the African Cup of Nations, I've been rooting for the Democratic Republic of Congo. They have a team that no individual brilliance or so, but they understand the impact. They understand the importance of gelling together. If you look at Sebastien Desabre, their coach has been there for over, I think, 3 years or so, and he is still there and might still be there. The only thing I was a little bit disappointed is that they didn't reach, I think, the quarterfinals of the African Cup of Nations. But when they came back from that AFCON and they had to pass through Cameroon and Nigeria, I knew they were certainly going to get that World Cup ticket, because it's very important. We've already spoke about the historic aspect of the game for DRC. I look at these players, the team is really gifted with like I said, with that ability of playing as a team and not relying on an individual per se. Because if you look at the likes of Chancel Mbemba, that is a practical leader in the Democratic Republic of Congo squad. We're looking at other experienced player, Axel Tuanzebe, the man who got the 100-minute goal against Jamaica in Mexico. And when you look at other players, the talents are there, but no individual brilliance. They just work together, and it's a fascinating movement for them because it takes the Congolese, I think it's moved them into the top 15 in Africa also. Exactly, and it speaks a lot about the Congolese football. Now they have qualified. We know the benefits that come after that. Well, we're hoping to see them have a good tournament, but qualification, it's a historic one, and it's quite important in showing how much these teams are developing. And it's not only about the DR Congo. I think maybe by 2030 we should be having the likes of Burkina Faso, Mali, exactly, all these countries coming in to get tickets to the FIFA World Cup. Because when I talk about Burkina Faso, Mali, and the DR Congo, these are countries that if you take time to study them, you understand how the growth is working for them in terms of bringing in binationals and creating serenity around the team. Because if you look at Mali, they had Tom Saintfiet. I think they'll be going in for a new coach in the upcoming African Cup of Nations. The likes of Burkina Faso, they've gone in for a prominent coach who has studied the African continent and understand quite a lot about the African football setup. So it's some of those teams which we used to consider as underdogs, but they are lifting up themselves, and they might be a shocker in the next 5 to 6 years coming up on the African continent.
Just like I've been telling a lot of people, the 2027 African Cup of Nations is going to bring in a lot of surprises, especially from nations that we don't normally used to consider them as giants. Mind you, the giants themselves are dropping in terms of performance, and one of them that many people will tell you out there is the like of Cameroon failing to qualify for some major competition, especially be it from category of under 17, under 23 and the rest. And we're hoping that maybe as the years equally unfolding, the narratives for these giants are going to be changing. A quick one, and let's begin with the MTN Elite 2 Championship. Remember, I spoke about Kumba City coming in from a 2 defeat and hoping that a game against Bafna United, which I believe with my whole heart that is going to be a very tough one for Kumba City, especially with the revenge that Bafna United has for them. But despite this, we know that football is played on the green turf. Do you think, or do you see possibilities that Kumba City Football Club can come out with even a point from the Bamenda Proximity Stadium, considering that it's been a theater house for the Northwest Regional League sides?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a cracker for real. It's going to be a cracker. I think the first leg of the game, I think it ended 1-0 or so.
Yes,
in
favor
Kumba.
of Kumba.
Exactly.
So
in
a
Kumba.
penalty, a led one.
Exactly. So the polemics are wide and the spread, and it's a 50-50 game left to me, because Bafna United, I think they are 5 points or so behind Kumba City. But when we look at the fact that Kumba City had a 5-game winning streak, it's a big motivation. And it was tested by those 2 back-to-back defeats. The first time they lost in Kumba to Avion, and we're hoping to see how they react from it. That is most important. Bafna United too, it's a team for me. I personally think they should be playing this season, not just for the sake that they want to play. Bafna United, the last 2 seasons they've been to the playoffs up in the MTN Elite 2. So somewhere underneath everything, Bafna should, everything being equal, Bafna United should be thinking of increasing the numbers for
the Northwest.
Let's say practically getting that sport that used to belong to Yosa.
For young sport,
exactly, in the Bamenda, because the Northwest region now just has PWD to rely on for Elite 1 championship matches. So Bafna, it's going to be a really testing game, because Bafna now are trying to relaunch their season. They had a couple of back and forth in the results, and their point gap so far, it's not devastating for the host of tomorrow's game, but it brings everything on the balance, and it's an availability for anyone to grab it all. The worst comes to the worst, Kumba must have to avoid defeat, because if you go a 3rd game without winning, it will really work a lot on the morals of the players, and a lot of questions definitely will come around for them. But we're wishing them the best, and I'm equally looking at how a classic game of that nature, an English derby for that to be precise, how it unfolds in the MTN Elite 2 Championship, and other games are equally playing up. I think Edinspor 3 goes down to Atlantic as we speak at the moment.
Definitely, and that was the only fixtures that was slated for today, Friday. But a quick word to you, Ngome Michael. Prediction for that particular game. Bafba United and Kumba City.
I think it's going to play out a 2-2 draw.
2-2 to draw.
Exactly.
Okay, we are going to see after 3:30 at the Bamenda Proximity Stadium if the scoreline is going to be 2 for Bafman or 2 for Kumba City. And away from the MTN L2 Championship, let's talk about Victoria United against Canon Sportive of Yaoundé. But before this particular game, we have Nathan Douala, former player of Victoria United, jersey number 10. The midfield maestro, like how many people are going to call him. Mind you, history will never forget the day Nathan Douala carried Victoria United on his shoulders by taking this penalty. Mind you, we were about 10 to 15 minutes for this particular game to come to an end. And it is the likes of Laurent Gaffard with his kicked off into the box, and why not a penalty given to Victoria United. Deliberations happened among the players on who to take on this penalty. Mind you, Victoria United needed just a draw to carry or to be crowned champions of the MTN Elite 1 Championship 2023. And Nathan Douala steps forward and says, I am going to carry Victoria United, the southwest population in general, to my shoulders. He takes on the ball, puts it into the spot, takes 5 steps behind, and why not tells Ashu Querido, who was the goalkeeper of Stade Renada here. Mind you, at the Bapele Stadium, a hot afternoon with sun. Nathan Douala takes his time and why not strikes in a goal to make the scoreline 2 for Stade Renard and 2 for Victoria United, and that particular game ended like that with Victoria United crowned champions of the MTN Elite 1 Championship. And this season, Gomen Michael, he is playing for Canon Sportive of Yaoundé, and he's going to be playing among his former players, former teammates, and equally former team. Do you see, should I say, a friendly atmosphere during that game, or he's going to put on the shoes telling himself that I'm now with a different team and I have to give them all the points that they deserve?
Yeah, a lot has happened since then. I mean, it's certainly a high point in that game. I mean, Nathan Douala coming back to play in Limbe, his former home, and playing for Canon against a Victoria United side that he won the Elite 1 title 2 seasons back, and we are going to see how it comes in. And of course, a lot of info coming in on his performance this season. It shows that he's really upgraded to higher levels in the MTN Elite 1. He's playing a great game, just that Canon have not been able to really rack up the results so far. But it's not a lot of difference between Victoria United and Canon Sportif of Yaoundé at the moment. I think it's just a 2-point difference between both teams, and it's an even game. What will only act as a major difference going into that game, to be precise, is the fact that I think since Victoria United transitioned from the Centenary Stadium to the Ngeme Omnisport Stadium, it has been an unbeaten run for them. They haven't lost the game yet at the Ngeme,
because the last time they picked up a draw. Yeah,
they've played a series of draws out there, and though some matches such as the likes of Gazelle was supposed to be a win for them, a lot of chances comes around for them. But when we look at the fact that they pick up wins against Panther, and of course Stade Renard had to really struggle a lot to sniff up a point from them, it speaks quite a lot for Victoria United at the Ngeme Omnisport Stadium. But this time around, we already mentioned the fact that it's 2 points gap for separating both sides, and of course a win, whoever gets the win on that day speaks up a lot for a team like Canon, who are some sort of trying to get themselves back into the championship. We expected that Canon maybe should be where the likes of Gazelle are, where the likes of Dynamo and PWD are struggling at the moment, but it didn't really work out for them. We've seen a lot of changes at Canon, and based on what I've gathered personally, I think Canon Sportif of Yaoundé, they might just be in that part of the season where things might be changing for them going into the second round, because they've been really impressionate, and of course they've been impressive going in their last couple of games coming on forward for Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. But when we put the name Canon and what we are seeing at the moment, Canon isn't really that mirror image of what they are producing at the moment. Hopefully the second round has a lot to do for them, but against Victoria United, it's going to be really an interesting game, and hopefully I get time to witness that one as well, because it's another top game of the match day, and an iconic one, being in the last game for the first round. We don't know how long it's going to take for matches to resume, but I think it's going to be really quick, and because it's a championship that has to end latest June. And of course, like I said, it's a game that has a lot of polemics on it. The struggle for overtaking, which is very possible on the day, and of course Nathan Douala resuming to his team. I first of all mentioned the fact that a lot has changed. We understand that very few of his former teammates are still really active in the squad at the moment, so it's all to play for. I think no emotions will be really there for the moment, but hopefully Victoria United fans will give him his respect, that he's due
definitely
all levels with what he did with the club at the moment, and a lot that he achieved for the club representing the national team from Victoria United. So it's one of those games that will really mean a lot to the match day in particular.
But now I want to look at individual performance now. We know that the first 5 days of play for Nathan Douala was not something to write about, especially for this particular season. And looking at the way he equally led Victoria United, but I think their last 3 days of play for Canon Sportif of Yaoundé, he has really improved. Sometimes we will see Nathan seated on the bench throughout the game without him even being put into this particular game. And many persons have said that their game against PW Job Bamenda, where we had that stupid action from the captain of PW Job Bamenda, Nathan has picked up. Can you actually attest to the fact that he's becoming the Nathan Douala that we knew 2 to 3 seasons ago?
Definitely, Nathan is a mature player. I think he's mature, he's experienced, he's a man. We must underscore that. And there are things that happen to you in life that you have to take back, and of course you have to sit back and reflect on them and try to see how you improve yourself. And I think that's what has happened to him.
Okay.
At one point you were the top of the Elite One Championship, a title holder, and at another point you get involved in a lot of discussions, controversies here and there, and a lot of headlines, complications to be precise, and which leads to a move, and then the move doesn't really go off as you expected. But we see that the changes are coming up.
Okay.
And when you speak of that incident, which wasn't a really good one, I appreciate his reaction. His reaction was not
was so matured enough.
That's why I started by saying he was a mature, he's a man, and he's matured, and it's not kind of the Nathan Douala we used to know about, the high spirited Nathan Douala, highly emotional, especially when he's not on the winning end of the game. So it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot of personal changes, individual work upon himself, and we are now hoping to see how that plays out in an important fixture for him like that. And like I said, it all encompasses what is going to happen at the Ngeme Sports Stadium.
Definitely. And you watching us, you want to give us your prediction to that particular game, you're free to use the number on your screen to give us your prediction. Is it going to be Canon Sportif of Yaoundé that is going to grab all 3 points at the Ngeme Sports Stadium, or is it going to be One People, One Power or Popo that is going to, why not, win all 3 points? Another question mark. And equally over there in the Northwest region, do you think that Bafman United will trash Kumba City Football Club? Mind you, their first leg game ended 1-0 in favor of Kumba City Football Club. And Gomemake, a quick one to you. Victoria United and Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. Prediction?
Well, it's going to be, that's really tough by the way. It's going to be a closely followed game, because whoever takes the lead on that day would certainly Canon has the opportunity to level on points, while Victoria United has that ability to extend their point gap of the stadium on the table. And I remember the game against Pante, Davin Gambe in his post-match interview stated that for now they are looking at a way where they get the cutoff point for safety before then challenging, maybe setting an objective that requires maybe challenging for the title in the Elite One Championship. They are 18 points. That means a win will take them to 21, and then the second round will determine if their first 3 fixtures of the second round will determine their safety. So I'll go in for 2-1 in favor of Victoria United. I mean, they have a lot of scoring players. Diboto has the ability.
Because that's where I was actually heading. Yeah. I mean, I wanted you to tell me who you think is going to bring in a curtain raiser for Victoria United.
Yeah, that's why I say they have a lot of players, and of course their defenders are scoring. Quite interesting. Quite interesting
I
for
Victoria this
United.
Particular season, we have defenders scoring.
I think
for the
Chana has his edging close.
Chanana is 5 or 6, if I'm not making a mistake.
Diboto is on 5.
5, yes.
And, we have a lot of other defenders.
Yan, who scored the brace for them.
Exactly.
He has 2. We have the likes of is it Stanley? Who has 3 or 4 goals onto his name.
Yeah, definitely. So it shows you that even if the attack line doesn't deliver, maybe
we have the midfielders.
Exactly,
we have
set
the
pieces for defenders can come in to level up. But Victoria United, they have that ability. I think their goals are not concentrated on a particular area of the pitch. So it has that ability where defenders can come in to chip in from set pieces, and also the midfielders have that ability. The long range shot that was scored against Pante Sportif of Dundee was an incredible goal. That I'm rooting for 2-1 win for Victoria United.
Government Michael says 2 for Victoria United and 1 for Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. You watching and listening to us, what is your prediction for Victoria United against the likes of Canon Sportif of Yaoundé? Mind you, it's going to be a tough game, especially with the fact that the 2 teams will be grabbing their last points for the first phase of the MTN Elite One Championship. And away from that, let's come back and talk about the Southwest Regional League. Yes, we are going to look at match day 4, how it unfolded. But before Government Michael, we'll talk about match day 4 of the Southwest Regional League, looking at a little bit of retrospect of match day 3. Which team came as a surprise to you, or which team enticed your eyes with beautiful football?
As of now, it should be a fact that when Group A is playing, it's quite intriguing.
Yeah.
When Group A, I think that group consists talented Faku United, Camjo Sports Academy, and the likes of Best Stars Academy. Every time it has a game, it's quite interesting. Boya United in the mix as well. So it's a group where a lot is happening, and Faku United are topping the group. 3 wins on the spin is quite important, and it's not a whole lot of safety because there's just 2 points ahead of the likes of Kamjo, who are looking very, very much solid than they have been in the past 2 seasons or so. But when we look at the games that played, I think the team like Summer Sports Academy, I think they should be
that particular team, Summer Sports Academy. Mind you, those kids, majority of them are 12, 13, 14. 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, the coach Enobi Episo. Yeah, Enobi Brandon has he's
an old broom in the league.
We've seen Bakala. He's an affectionate name.
Football name Bakala.
Yeah, Bakala has been in the Southwest Regional League for quite some time. I mean the
Continental,
exactly
Kusa,
the one who raised up for the likes of Juma, who had a marvelous game at in the midweek against PWD in the Douala. When we look at where the coach is coming from in particular, and he's equally that one of those few persons who understands the dynamics of youth football, and that's why you see half of his team is constituted of young players. It shows you that he doesn't only want to play football but he wants
educated players.
Exactly, and not only educated players, but he doesn't want to just play football for this season.
Yeah,
The
it's
kids
a long chain.
the kids have the ability, the players have the ability to play 4 seasons with him as at this level. And when he says he is not only wanting to have them play football, but equally build a future for them,
Okay.
it shows something really amazing that he has off his
And
sleeves for
just
them.
to cut it short, while we interview him, not mistaken, match day 2, when at a late minute we had the likes of Boya City who
Yeah,
grabbed
Kambi.
that winning goal, and he made mention of the fact that he's looking at the future for these kids, not just for the fact that he's a coach and he wants to coach children. To tell you that parents equally who are depriving their children of playing football, we have academies here in the southwest region that can accompany your kids to go to school at the same time continue their career in football.
Definitely, it's a necessity. It's a necessity. Having to understand that life isn't 100% assured.
Definitely.
Nothing is life is guaranteed. So you have to try in the famous proverb of not putting your eggs in
one basket.
Definitely. So football is not guaranteed. You might get an ankle twisted tomorrow, and it haunts you for life. So
Yeah.
other aspects of the game should come up, and NMB Brandon has been that person. He's not just been a coach; he's been a mentor and a tutor. Which even if we saw back in the days of Cusa, he had this ability to guide his team players in the other aspects of life, be it education and other issues that will help them in life. So he is coming back with Summer Sports Academy. This is a team that has had other tournaments that they have played for,
Yeah.
scouting tournaments that they have been at. It already shows you that whoever stands out amongst these kids already has a future.
Definitely.
But now they just have to follow under the
right
guidance of someone who is literally pouring his heart out
Definitely.
to guide them in this game of football. They are an exciting team. They lost quite late against Boya City, but came up powerfully against Option Sports Academy, and we could see the intensity with which this team is playing. So it's a whole lot, and maybe we equally have the opportunity to step out of Boya Fako division and maybe witness games that will be coming
in
up
Tombel.
in the Meme division and all the likes, and see how these teams are always are playing, because most often when we come on set, we only talk
Yeah.
about the games that we're watching.
I think we are going to be having one in Mutengene, that's tomorrow.
Exactly.
And we have a game equally in Tombel, that's APFC. Looking at the
Definitely.
classification table, yes, we are going to be having a PFC equally that is going to be clashing against Future Dreams. And why not the Meme side, which is a normal, the GBS school field, where we are going to be having games. And a quick one on our fixtures for tomorrow, Saturday rather, April 4, 2026, where we are going to be having a Test Football Club against Al Jazeera. And meanwhile, we have the likes of Destiny Restoration and Boya City, while Bestars Academy against Boya United. And still in Limbe, we have LX Sport against Dream Soccer Academy. Focus on the game in Limbe. Destiny Restoration, Boya City. Do you think that Destiny Restoration is going to match up the energy of Boya City?
It's another side. I think they played quite well last season. They had a lot of preliminary round time.
Bestars or Destiny Restoration?
Destiny Restoration. They played the preliminary rounds of I think the second preliminary round for the region in the Cup of Cameroon last season.
Yes,
definitely.
Yes,
So they are a team that has the ability to bite. They haven't had to watch them this season, but I think they are equally a side that gathers a crop of young players in their midst, and they have a quite interesting coach too, who it's also like the mother hen figure over his players. So Boya City, and considering the fact that Boya City, I think their last game they really had a notch it down. They were not like the first.
I think it was a draw. They had a draw.
Definitely, it was a draw against Manu FC.
Yes.
Definitely. So
Manu FC that last season ago, they considered more than I think sometimes they have 19 goals, 9 goals in a game, and you come and hold Boya City. It tells you that Manu FC rather equally is improving.
Yeah,
I mean, from conceding such amount of goals, and the next season you're able to at least pick up 2 points in 2 games, it speaks a lot.
Definitely, it's that improvement that has come in with this season. Nobody is a wash off. at so far, and we equally having other sides struggling here and there. But Boya City, they will have to get back to themselves real quick, because if they fail to get a win here, it will be a really bit chaotic situation for them. And in the next game, Best Stars
Boya United.
And Boya United, I mean, it's an academy battle. The academicians will be facing
the Mountain Boys and the Stars of Limbe.
And definitely still Group A again, an enticing fixture. And whoever is watching, if you have the ability to make your way down to Limbe,
Limbe, Middle Farm Stadium,
that is a clash where you would love to relish, and it will come with a lot on it. And I hope, Sonita, you don't get to ask me the prediction for that game.
No, I'm not going to ask you because I know why. But let's take a quick one. Export, mind you, Export has had 3 in terms of that. If they have to win this 4-1, it's going to put them 4-4 for the first phase. Export, Dream Soccer, scoreline.
Expo will have this one off their sleeves. They could
okay, you're underestimating Dream Soccer.
Not underestimating them. I've seen Expo play, and I've seen the human resource that they have.
Okay.
And Joku Barnabas was categorical about what they want this season.
Objective.
Definitely. So they could get 3 goals in that game.
Okay. They could get 3 on 3, clean sheet.
Looks likely, but it depends on the game. But I'm going for a 3-0.
Okay, we'll beg on our broadcaster to take us quickly to the next fixture so that we get to wrap up the predictions. Why not the first phase equally, which is almost drawing closer to an end in terms of the Southwest Regional League, and equally to reiterate on the fact that tomorrow, whether you are in Boya, you are in Limbe, you are in Mutengene, Tombel, Kumba, make your way to the GPS field in Kumba, and equally Moliko Main Sports Stadium or the Wembley Stadium in the UB. And why not the likes of the Middle Farm Stadium to entice your eyes with beautiful football for the Southwest Regional League, and equally for the MTN 82 Championship. If you are Bamenda, Kumba City are already on their way to face Bafme United, and the likes of Victoria United at the Gemea Main Sports Stadium, where it is going to be a clash to watch, a clash to talk about, and why not a clash to give in keen eyes onto the ball. And equally a quick one, we have Rising Stars against Talented Football Club. Gome Mike, prediction.
Talented got that one for sure. They have that one off their sleeves. I mean, considering that they lost to Faku United, Rising Stars, we are still to see what they have in the championship so far, but it's still in Group A, and it's going the way of Talented.
And over there in Tombel at 2 p.m. exactly, we are going to have APFA against Future Dreams. What do you think is going to be the scoreline?
A draw, 0-0.
A 0-0 draw. And equally on Sunday, where we are going to have Waspito against Manu United, Legend against Kumba Lakers, in terms of the GPS school field at exactly 1 p.m. at 3 p.m. Prediction for Waspito and Manu United FA.
Manu.
2 sides, not too strong, but one man.
They are equivalent in terms of force. But Manu looks good. Waspito has been improving as well. I mean, the high scoring. They have not been conceding that much. It could be a 0 or draw in that game as well, though I'm thinking a goal could come from Man UFC, but I'll go in for a 0 time.
Let's look at household names in the competition in terms of the Meme pool. Legend Football Academy and Kumba Lakers Football Club.
That is Kumba basically being separated for 90 minutes.
You can say that again.
In the intriguing actions. I mean, friends might become enemies for
90 minutes.
For 90 minutes, we must underscore. So it's going to be an interesting game, a local derby. 2 sides of the same town are facing up against each other. 2-1 win for Legend, though they have not been really impressive for me. But Legend will have to win this one, going by me on this one.
Definitely. We have a contribution that says that Summer Sports, in terms of the Southwest Regional League, is going to win their next game. Okay, we have Summer Sport fans already. Thank you very much for contributing on the program. And equally with these particular predictions for the MTN Elite 2 Championship, MTN Elite 1, and why not Southwest Regional League? We are going to join the curtain. But before that, a quick one on to the Northwest Regional League. I mean, it's been Mancom United in every footballer or every football fan's mouth. It's been 3-on-3 for Mancom United so far.
Definitely, it's impressive, but when we look at the length of how the league is going to go, and the group in particular, I think they have more than 8 teams per group.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, we just hoping, but I think if you look at the length of matches that they have to play, we shouldn't be all out at the moment. We should sit back, reserve our act plots.
Let me cut you short. Remember, this is a Mancom United that played the finals last year, but unfortunately for them, they were defeated, and they have come back strongly to go and represent with the objectives, let me put it like that, to represent the Northwest region into the national interpose. Now, you're focusing on the lane. So are you saying that Bafman United is coming like a shower in the day?
It's not actually in a shower. You could have a good season previously and still come up and mess up the following season.
You're very correct.
Not really wishing them ill, but they already have that inner motivation. They believe they can do it.
Okay.
But what happens when the test starts coming? You get they have 3 wins on 3 at the moment. It's quite good. But now I'm looking about the future, like how
consistent,
which are very
exactly
what becomes of maybe fatigue, injury, and all the other things when the game starts coming in the very, very quick, like we're playing here in the Southwest region. Not saying that they are not capable of doing it, but what will they do when they are pushed to the wall? That's what exactly I'm saying. But I think they are capable of it, and like in a league which is really wide, broad, and expanded. I think they did it last season, and this season they are really coming in for everything they've got off their sleeves. But they should be cautious on how they go about it.
Definitely, Gome is still in the corridors of the fact that he wants to see of which extent can Mancom United be tested, and what is their resistance so far that you are going to be portraying. Before we take leave of you, Ngome Mike, your last words, maybe some words of encouragement, and equally telling people that watching our local football is very, very interesting.
Of course, it's a primordial that we patronize our domestic championships, though it's coming at the moment now when we are going to have European football here and there, and we don't know how much of a crowd it will be pulling. But like in the squad, if you get in the likes of Fako United having a game, you should come there. Best Stars Academy, Boya United, and Akamju, you should make sure you be there, because you will not be disappointed. Even the likes of Summer Sports coming in, and of course Boya City as well. Make sure you pull up, pay your gate fee, and watch interesting football in the Southwest Regional League.
Definitely, you've heard it. It's not only from me, but I tell you that sometimes I'm held spellbound by the performances of some of these clubs at the regional level. And talk less of the MTN Elite 1 or the MTN Elite 2 Championship. And yes, it's with this particular encouragement from Ngome that we get to tell you that it's time for us to pack up bags and leave the studio. But before that, a reminder that we spoke about the qualification of Democratic Republic of Congo to the 2026 FIFA World Cup that is going to be hosted by Morocco, Canada, and the likes of Mexico. And equally, the future of Iran has still not been pronounced in terms of if their games are going to be scheduled in the likes of Mexico or not. And equally, we talked about the MTN Elite 2 and 1 Championship. Why not the Southwest Regional League? And equally, it's time for us to wish you a lovely evening. And for presentation, I have been Sonita Gunyi for Friday Sport. And equally, do not touch that dial, as news hour will be right on your screen in some minutes. Do have a lovely evening and equally a lovely weekend. Bye-bye. TV viewers.